Hey yo, YouTube, what's up? First of all, let me just warn you in advance this video contains some psychological nudity. Viewers' expression is advised, and let's get right into it. A while back ago, I said that masculinity is not real, and that is a misnomer on my part. What I should have said is masculinity is a negative value structure. And what do I mean by that is that once you take away all the things that a man is supposed to do and compare it to all the things that a woman can do, you're left with very little. I mean, a woman could just as easily protect and provide for her family. She could solve problems. She could even make the initial public offering of companionship by kicking game. No, when you break it all down, what a man is allowed to do is he is allowed not to fail. He's not allowed to partake in female eccentricities. He's not allowed to wallow in a state of perpetual helplessness. He's not allowed to be vulnerable. Furthermore, there's many words in the blogosphere that gets tossed around without giving any real context to what they mean. So let's take this opportunity to hash out some of these words. Chiefly among those words is power. Power is the ability to make someone do something despite their own will. This could be any form of coercion, whether physical, verbal. You could petition your community to have that person capitulate to your dominance. But ultimately, power is the ability to make someone bow down. This is not to be confused with agency. Agency is the ability to affect change within your own existence. Women want power. Men want agency. Women are naturally fearful creatures because 9 months out of the year in their prime, they are extremely vulnerable. So they do not want to be held down by some frail, weak male. And that is the heart of the matter. Masculinity is a complete and total hatred of all things vulnerable, to the point that masculinity is vulnerability phobia. That is, we're not being our real selves. So once you embrace your frailties and your vulnerabilities, once you start being about that progressive ass, oh, I'm one with my feelings, I cry in sensitive ass movies and shit, you become conflictatory with your masculine identity. Please believe that. Now, here's the thing. We are cursed human beings because in God's own wisdom, he saw it fit that if a man wants to be touched, caressed, fondled like he was a child, emotionally validated, he has to have sex, and to do so, he has to go through his companion, his female companion. And we cannot take that validation. We cannot take that sexual fulfillment through any other means but to demonstrate our power to women. We are fucking cursed. Every man has a crack pipe between his legs, and women are the chief suppliers of that drug called sex, of that drug called intimacy. Where God fucked up is that he linked so many things to sex. Where God, or the patriarchy, whatever you want to call it, where things got messed up is that so many things are wrapped up in sexual gratification that men do not know when to say yes and when to say no. Think about it. When it comes to sex, a man's rational mind says, yes, I need it. A man's heart says, yes, I need it. A man's community says, yes, you need it. And a man's libido says, you goddamn right you need it because it fills me with that chemical rush and ecstasy that is only achieved through our glands and what have you. Women are different. Women have to make their libido surrender to the rational, to the emotional, to the communal. Which is why sex will never be the same to men as it is to women. Going back to this notion of vulnerability phobia. Say, for example, a woman finds a man who exercises his masculine identity to the fullest. He has gotten his car. He has gotten his apartment. He has gotten his financial issues in order. He is a full, complete, total, classical man. What happens in that process is that he finds himself to be in rarefied air. He's a rare commodity. He's one of a kind. He's egotistical in his pursuits of women, and he's a fornicator. Another thing I said, when I said black men are fornicators, I meant it. And what is fornication? What is fornication? Fornication is what happens when sexual intercourse happens and someone is getting hurt in the process. For men, it could be, all that, all that fuckery that you ladies do to make a man feel like he's doing some damage when he's probably not. That's fornication. When a man knows that he has a good woman at home and he is willfully destroying and damaging that marriage, when he's destroying that partnership, that is fornication. When a man and a woman brings a child into spiritual, emotional, and mental and physical poverty, that is fornication. That's how we fornicate. That's how we hurt each other. Women, y'all fornicate on another level because please recognize that there's a sadistic joy that some women get by fucking a married man because they know that the same mouth that this brother was kissing his woman with was the same mouth that was eating that pussy. That's the joy of fornicating for women. And if you suffer for the sin of fornication, please let me minister to you. You could reach me at 555-917-4258. That is 555-917-1258. I will cleanse you of your disastrous need to be a fornicator. So help me. But that's another subject. Going back to the male and female divide, when you tell men that they're not supposed to be vulnerable, they're going to naturally suppress the emotions. When you tell men that they're not supposed to be vulnerable, they're going to take on an alpha male persona. When you tell men that they are not allowed to be weak and frail and broken shit, they're going to lie about being weak and frail and broken shit. So women see men for what they really are. Vulnerable, frail creatures who are just trying to survive. Furthermore, this whole notion of vulnerability phobia has been so encompassing in the male identity is I'm almost convinced that that is the heart and soul of our sexual attraction towards women. Think about it. Why are young women considered more attractive than older women? Well, a lot of men will tell you it's because of evolutionary psychology, that they're at the most fertile. I say that they're at their most vulnerable, that they have young features, they have a neoteny, they have a cherubic look, they have the baby fat in all the right places. They look innocent and sweet. They look like children. Am I saying that men are naturally attracted to children? No. I'm saying that if left unchecked, a man's desire to be absolutely strong and a woman absolutely weak, a desire to project these gender roles on each other leads into, yes, I'll say it, pedophilia. If you adhere to such a strict notion of masculine identity that you cannot allow yourself to be a complete fucking human being, you're going to inevitably find younger and younger and weaker women attractive. Women know that there's a lot of men out there who are afraid of grown women. There's a lot of men out there who are afraid of pussy. And ironically, the more women cater to this patriarchal notion of masculine identity, the more they enforce that religion on men. Gentlemen, you're allowed to be weak. You're allowed to be afraid of pussy. You're allowed to not be in the position you want in life. That's what I've been saying for the longest time. Take it to heart. And now I would like to reiterate for all of you my pizza philosophy of masculine identity. Ladies, take note. A man is like a four-sided pizza. To the top, he has his rational faculties, his broccoli, his brain, his reason, his love of knowledge and self. To the left is his soft, vulnerable, frail side, his soft and pink side that he hardly ever shows to you, his sweetness, his pepperonis. To the far right, you have his community, the broccoli, the olives, the peppers, the mixed vegetables, the pineapples, all that weird nonsense that as ladies, y'all gonna end up removing some of them, the crazy friends and all that. His community, you know what I'm saying. And to the bottom, you have the metaphysical doorways to his pleasure and pain mechanism, his cock, his penis, his fucking dick, his anchovies. Now, these are four conflicting values all vying for position. Women do not understand that because women does not put the anchovies above the broccoli like men do. What I need for you ladies to ask the men in your life is, are you the pizza you want to be? Are you the man you want to be? Are you fulfilled rationally, emotionally, communally, sexually? And as a side note, with all these flavors conflicting with each other, I find it impossible not to have a moral center to tame all these conflicting values, a benevolent cheese, if you will. So in an essence, men are like a pizza. You got your mind, you got your heart, you got your community, you got your libido, and the cheese, the cheese is your spirituality, your morality, your soul. Men, you should never be a pizza that's just broccoli and anchovies, all right? I think that's what the YouTube tried to sell us. It tries to sell us the fake myth of objective masculinity. But in essence, you're a mixed topping. God dang. It sounds weird, but I hope you understand what I'm saying. It's a metaphor because I don't want to just throw anybody under the bus. Ultimately, men, you got to ask yourselves, are you the man you want to be? And women, if you're going to ask a man if he's the pizza he's going to be, just recognize that you're going to have to eat those anchovies to find out. It's your boy, Black Privilege, signing out. Peace.